Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to do event study of a particular company. So here I have taken one major event, that is merger of HDFC Bank with HDFC Limited. So the news was announced, this particular merger news was announced. It's on 4th April 2022. We are going to analyze, is there any impact of this news or an event in the stock performance of HDFC Bank Limited. That is the objective of the video here. That is the objective of the study. Is there any impact of merger of HDFC Bank with HDFC Limited? So in order to analyze event study, we should know what is the relation of that particular company stock performance in the previous days. So we are taking one independent variable, means we are comparing the company stock performance with market performance. So we have taken Nifty 50 index as the market, and we are going to compare the company performance with the market performance. Since the event is on 4th April 2022, there are two elements we have to consider, that is estimation window and event window. Estimation window, we are using that period. Here in this problem we have mentioned 200 days. So we are using this estimation window period to analyze what is the relationship between, or what kind of impact the market indices are having on company indices, or we can say what is the impact of market index, that is Nifty, on the HDFC Bank Limited stock performance. Based on that regression equation, we are going to calculate expected return of the company. Then we are going to calculate abnormal returns. Then based on that, we are going to calculate the T statistics. Similarly, next one, event window. This is just nearer to that event date, means when you announce some event on future date, and when the date is nearby, there will be huge variation in the stock prices. So we are considering that frequency, how many days observation we are considering before and after the event. Here 4th of April 2022, we are calling it as 0th day, or event day we are considering it as 0th day. Minus 10 to plus 10 means 10 days before the event, 10 days after the event. So 10 days before April 4, 10 days after April 4 we are going to consider for the study. So first, what is required here to analyze this event study? To conduct this event study, we have to download closing prices of Nifty and Nifty and HDFC Bank Limited. For a period, we can say, to cover these many observations, you can see the estimation window is 200 days. Then we want 10 days before the event observation, 10 days after the observation. Total 220 observations we need, means 220 trading days data we require. So here we have taken around 1st January 21 to July 4 2022. I think it's more than sufficient data we have taken. So here I have already downloaded the data. You can see this is HDFC Bank closing price and Nifty index closing price. We cannot take these two information as it is, since if you plot the closing prices in the graph, it is a time series analysis. So one second, let me do. It's a time series analysis. If we take this value, plot this value in the graph, you can see the trend. Suppose you are having I will plot this value in the graph. HDFC close. I will go to insert option and line graph. If I take, you can see there is a trend. Movement is there. It may go end up to 800, around 850, then again came down. So there is a trend. So we cannot use this value for our studies. Same thing if you plot the Nifty value in the line chart. So this no matter what, it's always increasing. You can see the increasing trend over a period of time. So such information we cannot use, or they may not give conclusive evidence is there any impact of that particular event on that day or not. So in order to overcome this weakness, we are calculating returns. We are calculating company returns, that is HDFC returns. We are marking it as Y. I will tell you later Y. So then we are having market returns. We are marking it as X. Now, these are company returns and market returns. Okay. So company returns, we are going to calculate log returns. What is the price change comparing to previous day? So here we are taking percentage change between today's price and yesterday's price. So B3 divided by B2. So I got, you can see, from 712 to 708, around 4 rupees decreased. You can say if you put it as an expression of percentage, it's around 1%. We can say 0.006 it is. So around 1% decrease was observed. Same way I want to calculate for market. So instead of typing the formula again, I am dragging this formula to E column. So you can see 14,018 to 14,132. Even though HDFC Bank share price decreased, here in case of Nifty it is increased by around 1%. So we are taking these returns for our calculation. So but returns we have to consider for calculate for all the observations. So I will just double click this information. So returns of all the observations are appearing here. Next step, we have to identify the observations. We are calling it as periods or period. Here, suppose you can see if we go to the date of event, if I go to sheet 1, I am having April 4, 2022. I will just scroll through the dates. April 4, 2022. Yeah, this is the date where I am going to where the event is, a merger event was announced. So I will mark it as 0th day. So as I discussed earlier, event day we have to assume it as 0th day. Then we are having event window -10 and +10. So first we'll go with +10 after 10 days of the event. So 5, 6, 7. We can drag this manual. Need not remove this one. Type this. You can drag this information. The moment you type 1, 2, you can drag it like this. You will get 10 value. Then before 10 days. So that means -1, -2. Then I am going to drag this information until I get -10. So this information, I will take few columns extra here, later I will tell why. So this information I am marking it in different color. So I have given this, wait, let me give some lighter colors. Yeah. So this is my event window so that I can identify them easily. This is my event window. And this is my date of the event or 0th day. Okay, I will bold it just for our reference. So this is 10 days before the event, 10 days after the event. So last line, whatever is there in the problem, event window -10 to 10, we have marked. Now estimation window 200 days. This is before the event window. That means it will start from here and up 200 observation above this. That means it will start from -11, then until I get this 10 plus 200, minus means 210. So I have to drag this cursor upward until it shows 210. Yeah. So I will mark this again with different color to get some idea which one is event window, which one is estimation window. I will again put them in the table so that we can consider this for. Okay. So this is my estimation window. We have done the marking, 200 days of observation we have marked. So in this period we have to fit the regression equation. Okay, rest of the information, that is 101, that is 31st March 2021 till the first observation, we will not delete it, we will hide them. Okay, this is irrelevant or unwanted information for our study, but we will not delete it because in future thing for other studies it may be useful. So I am not considering that, but I will not delete it. Okay. Next one, after period, once you mark this, so let me freeze this row once so that while scrolling down you will not miss the column headings. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, we have to calculate regression, we have to fit the regression equation between market and company returns. So as I marked already y and x, we are taking market as independent, company as dependent. Since we have already calculated returns, this B and C column information will be irrelevant. So if you want, you can hide these columns to avoid the confusion. Because when you see too much of data, you may get confused which column to select and all. Okay, so we'll hide this. So I got y variable and x variable. So I have prepared a few steps here. I will go accordingly. Okay. So I have mentioned here in column D you have to calculate log returns. In column E you have to calculate log returns of log returns. It should not company. It should be market. Next, column F, name the period that we have done. Mark the event as 0. Hide the unwanted rows. Yes, this is what I just did. Next one, in column M and N, calculate the parameters. So I will go to the study, column M. I will keep the cell in 102nd row. I will leave that second row blank as it is. I will hide this as well. Yeah. Here I will type intercept. Intercept means when the market return is 0, what is the variation in company returns. Then slope. Slope tells the impact of market on how much percentage variations are having, explained by market variable. So that is slope here, the impact of market returns on uh, company returns. So here intercept, we are having inbuilt formula called intercept. Okay, we are having known y's and known x. Two information is required for this. As you know, y means company returns, x means market returns. But which and all observation I have to select here? I have to select the variable for estimation period, okay, or estimation window. That means whatever that orange color region is there, only those observation I have to select. So I will start from here. First I have to select known y's. I will select this, then I will scroll down until I reach this one, 200 observation. Then comma, next is known x. Known x means same range but market return. So I will select it from the down till here, 199, yeah, 102, yeah, correct. So you can see D102 to D301, E102 to E301. So this is my range. I will close the parenthesis. I will hit enter. So this is the slope. This is the intercept. Next one is slope. For slope also, I am having same known y's and known x's. So again I will select this known y, comma known x. That is market return, E column. Next we want standard error. Standard error, standard error, y on x. So this is required for t statistics calculation. So I will select this formula, hit the tab button, I will select again same range y and x. So these are the three information which we require for further calculations. Okay, so intercept, correct the spelling error here. Yeah, intercept, slope and standard error. Now using this we are going to calculate expected returns of the company, not market, company. So from 2012, from 102 observation, or we can say 210th observation onwards. So here our formula will be y equal to a plus bx. Okay, y equal to a plus bx, or you can put it in small letters. Actually, that is the expression here, a plus bx. A means intercept, slope, B means slope, X means market returns. So here A equal to intercept, B equal to slope, X equal to market returns. So same way I am going to calculate here, equal to intercept plus open parenthesis slope into market return. So my value is N102 plus N103 into E102. This is my expected returns. Now same formula I am going to apply for rest of the rows. I want to calculate expected return for all the observation which I have shaded in both the colors, event window as well as estimation window. So what I will do, since intercept and slopes are constant, market returns are changing daily, I will keep these two parameters static. So I will keep the cursor in N102, I will lock them, same N103, I will lock them. Then I will double click so that I can get expected return for all the observations. Next, I have to find the difference between actual company returns and expected returns. We are calling it as abnormal returns. So abnormal returns means actual company returns minus expected returns. Actual company returns minus, or company's actual return minus expected return. That means D column value minus G column value. So this is my abnormal returns. I will double click so that I can drag it to all the rows. So this is my abnormal returns. Now I will select this unwanted column. One more column is there, that is called T statistic. So I will be observing what is the whether was there these abnormal returns are having any significance or not. So I will be calculating this abnormal returns divided by standard error. That is a T statistics formula here. So abnormal distribution, so abnormal return divided by standard error. I will, since the denominator is static or fixed, I will lock this M104. Numerator abnormal returns are keeps on changing. I will keep it dynamic. Hit the enter button, double click. So this is my T statistics, right? So I have calculated this T statistics for all the observation. Now we'll move on to that our this one planned one. So I have calculated expected return, I have calculated abnormal return, I have calculated T distribution. Moving on to the next one. Now we have to find out the event window analysis. Means during the event time, was there any changes? So again, because of the dragging and all, I lost the color coding of this one. Let me do it again. You can do it at the end to avoid this kind of mistakes. I will put it again in the same color coding. Okay, this is not mandatory, this is just for our reference. Okay, so this is my event window, this is the event day, this is 10 days after the window period. So now we have to calculate, So I will, to put it in one column, one screen, I will hide a few rows. Company return, market returns are anymore not required. I will hide them so that I can accommodate upcoming calculations. Okay. So here I have to define before this null hypothesis. So I will go to M108. I will mention what is my null hypothesis. Null hypothesis here is what there is no difference in cumulative abnormal returns. Okay, there is no difference equal to 0. Alternative hypothesis says there is difference. CAR is not equal to, not equal symbol you are getting from symbols. You are having not equal here, not equal to 0. CAR is not equal to 0. So this is my null hypothesis. This is alternative hypothesis. Since it is not equal to, we are having two-tailed test. Okay, two-tailed test. If you remember statistics, we have dealt with this topic. Two-tailed test in a t distribution. So what are the requirement for this t statistics first? So we'll go with the requirement. I'll create the table. So in the 311th row, you can prepare it anywhere, but I'm putting it nearer to event window so that we can analyze or select the range easily. So equal to, no, first one we are going to put the table heading event, or the column heading event window. Then we are going to calculate cumulative abnormal returns. Then we are going to calculate number of observations. Whatever number of observations we got of that square root, we are going to calculate, so that our final formula will be little bit easier. It will be difficult to, sometimes you may not understand how too many calculation in one single cell. So I am splitting them into multiple columns. So event window, CAR, observations, and square root of the observations. After that I am going to calculate standard deviation of the sample, or we can say the cumulative abnormal. So standard deviation of CAR. So standard deviation of CAR. So standard deviation of CAR, then we are having, we'll go back to this critical value, means table value here, at what level whether it to accept or reject null hypothesis. So I am putting it kind of layman things. I am not going with the formal explanation here, so that you can easily understand this concept. Event window, CAR, observation, square root of observation, standard deviation of CAR, critical value. Then we are going to calculate t statistics. Then based on the t value, we are going to put the remarks or the results. Okay, you can put the result as well or remarks. So we'll give some table format for this information. I'll put it in all borders and keep these headings bold. Okay, so whenever you present the result, it should be presentable. So you have to put the borders and formatting things you have to do. Event window, in the as per the problem we have taken -10 to +10, so we'll keep them center aligned. Then CAR, cumulative abnormal return, here for your understanding I am writing event window. Okay, event window, cumulative abnormal returns for event window equal to sum of whatever abnormal returns are there, that is column number H, but event window, that means from here to here, only the blue color region, including the event day. So 21 observations are there. So total I got -0.066. Then observation, how many observation? You can manually count the observation, but I am using the count formula. You can apply it for number of CAR values in the blue color region or the event window. So number of observation, again EVT window, event window I will mention here for your understanding. Next one, square root of observations. Square root of observation means there is a dedicated formula for this square root of this number. So I got 4.58 square root of the observations. Next, standard deviation of CAR. So I am using here inbuilt formula, standard deviation of S sample, but CAR. Here I will come out of the formula once. CAR is not for event window, it is for estimation window. You can calculate at the beginning only, but again at that time you didn't calculate abnormal returns, so now you have to better you keep it here only along with the other parameters. So standard deviation of CAR equal to STDEVS, standard deviation dot S, but yellow color region means estimation window of abnormal returns. So this from here till the top, whatever we range we took earlier for regression, same range 102 to 104. 102 to 301. So close the parenthesis, hit enter. This is my standard deviation. Critical value, that is to decide whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. So T distribution two-tailed critical value at 5% level of significance is always 1.96 plus or minus, since it is two-tailed. So the plus or minus symbol you are getting from symbol option in the insert bar in the ribbon. So you can go to insert symbols and you will get plus or minus, insert, close. So I will type 1.96. Next, T statistics. So this is the critical thing, the main calculation of entire event study which decide whether there is an impact or not. So whatever we are considering three items here. One is CAR, square root of observation, standard deviation. So these I will just for your understanding I will highlight them in yellow. These are the three elements we are using for T statistics. The formula is CAR numerator, it is divided by open parenthesis standard deviation into square root of observations. So CAR divided by standard deviation into square root of observation. I will hit the enter button. That will be my T statistics. Now, it is a two-tailed test. Okay, it is a two-tailed test. It should be greater than 1.96 or it should be lesser than 1.96. Then we can say it is significant. Okay, when we can say significant, if it is more than 1.96 or if it is lesser than 1.96, then only we can say whether it is significant or not. Again, significant at what percent test it is? 5%. So 5% level of significance, we can say whether the t value is significant or not. Here you can say, you can again put it in the formula. If you know Excel better, then you can put them into formula. Since there is two elements here, plus or minus, I can convert the value into absolute. So I will put if condition. That is the only logical test. Since it is giving me logical test options, I am using if formula. So if absolute of 1.61 means whether it is plus or minus, secondary. If it is higher than 1.96 means I am converting that negative number into positive number. If it is more than 1.96, that is positive number, then you mention significant at 5%. Otherwise, you mention not significant at 5%. Again, this is again optional for you. You can, if you know the rules properly, you can directly manually type whether it is significant or not significant. So I am getting the answer not significant because it is not more than 1.96 and it is lesser than, it is not lesser than minus 1.96, as you can say not significant. Again, if you are not familiar with the negative numbers here, those who are very weak in maths, you can again, if you know Excel things, you can put it this way. Is this amount lesser than minus 1.96? It will say false. Automatically it is not significant. Suppose you got 1.5 4, if it is positive number, you can say whether it is more or less. Negative numbers, few people again, even after at this level, few people will find it fail to understand this whether it is significant or not. So keeping them in mind, I am explaining this element. So you can just put it like this: whether this value is lesser than 1.96. If you are getting false, means it is not significant. Okay, so there is again optional. This is again optional. This is also again optional to put the if condition in the remark cell. You can directly decide, directly type whether it is significant or not. So that means based on this remarks, I can say there is no significant impact of the merger news, that HDFC Bank merging with HDFC Limited, in this particular event study analysis at event window -10 to +10 days. Again, doesn't mean that there is not at all significant impact. If you take this window period smaller, means 2 days before the merger news, 2 days after the merger news, there will be huge variation. If you know the stock market better, when that particular announcement date comes near, there will be huge speculation or huge variation in the stock market, or considerable variation will be there. So that you can take and you can analyze. Since I have taken 10 days, it's like a kind of longer distance, 10 days gap between the event news and the study. So consider keeping that window period, since I took 21 observation, I am not getting not significant answer. Doesn't mean that even if you take a smaller window, you will get significance, and there is no rule that hypothesis testing you should get significance every time. We are just testing is there a significance or not. So there is no prejudice that you should get significance. Okay, you should be open minded when you do these kind of studies. Whatever answer you get, you have to accept it, again considering that whatever calculation you are doing, they are proper. So in this way we can do event study in for a given set of data. So you can do this for multiple things. You can list out few items. Suppose if you take Hindenburg news impact on Adani shares, you can mark the date, you can find out the date, and you can compare those with things with the Nifty returns. Again, Adani shares and Nifty, you can take it as a market and company. Then you can do this kind of event study. So this is how we can learn event study for a particular event, how what is the impact of that particular event on the stock performance of the companies.